Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a game for the ages. Beastyqt, aka Barcode, here today, up against hashtag B for Wololo. No one other than 3DB himself. And if you've been following all of the drama around B's disqualification from Red Bull Wololo, you should know why a game like this is certainly surrounded with much hype. B has been streaming live on Twitch. I'll leave a link down in the description to both B and Beastyqt's streams if you want to check out their perspectives. And he's also been streaming a second camera, watching his screen. So we're the third camera, the camera watching the camera of the camera, to prove that he is in fact a straight up player. Now, let's be honest, watching streams with looks like pretty legit circumstances definitely doesn't disprove that perhaps maybe he did cheat in the past, at least as the tournament admins have claimed. But we are here to see what happens today. Beastyqt playing as the Holy Roman Empire up against B's English on Hill and Dale. Now, I have been watching both these players today, and B has been on a hot streak. He's been winning lots of games. I saw him take a few wins off of Casva. He took a game off of Lenok, some other notable players. So he's definitely been trying to show that he can play legit, that he's a Conqueror 3, true and true. He's reached that already. But I'm sure he's looking forward to playing up against Beasty, one of the best players in AoE4, of course. So this should be a nice match to follow, and hopefully we have some good, clean fun here on Hill and Dale. Starting out, let's take a look at these scouting patterns. B opening up with just one scout as the English here on Hill and Dale. It does look like he did drop off some of his sheep there early. Now, I haven't seen him play a ton of English, and in fact, in the history, I looked at some of his match history, and English was one of his civs I don't see him picking as much, and when he has, I've seen him losing with it. So be curious to see what his plan is here, and if he can go up against Beastyqt playing as the Holy Roman Empire. I would imagine this might be Beastyqt's best civilization. It's certainly, I think, the #1 civilization on the ladder right now. Perhaps that, some would argue some Abbasid as well. Rus is also very strong, but I think for him, this is probably his strongest pick. And you know, Beasty, he doesn't have anything to prove here. He's looking to hopefully get a win, of course, but he's already qualified. He's in the tournament. This is just another ladder game for him, for Mr. Barcode here today. Building down that Aachen Chapel. It looks like he left room to build his farms. When you build your Aachen Chapel, make sure you leave room around it. Actually, I can't tell. Can you fit a farm there? I'm not sure you can. I guess you can. I guess that's just like... it's kind of misleading. That looks like it's part of the house, but I think that's just part of the cosmetics. So I think there's rooms for farms there. But you want to build your farms around this because it's going to give that area effect inspiration that the prelate dishes out. So always want to be mindful. And this is a good Aachen Chapel because it's covering the gold, it's covering the wood, the sheep, and I think the stone. So it's pretty good. A lot of these villagers, you can see, are inspired. B going with the council hall. You never know. He likes to do his off-meta picks. I've seen him doing a lot of crazy stuff with Abbasid. Yesterday, we watched a game where he was playing Abbasid on this map, and he dropped like 6 town centers, trapping his opponent on the hill. But I don't expect to see that with English, though. You never know when it comes to B playing. Going for the wood and stone here in transition, which would lead me to think that B is going for a second town center expansion. Usually English, they go for a 2 TC, and then when they go for their H3 landmark, they put down the King's Palace, which basically is another town center, and you have 3 TCs, right? It's got to live up to his name, 3 TCB. And we'll see if he does that. I see that BC is also going for stone himself. 2 TC Holy Roman Empire has been picking up the popularity in the meta. It used to be just straight, naked, fast castle, but I think we're going to see 2 town centers out of Beastyqt here. Now, Hill and Dale, this is a map I've actually banned on my map pool. I don't like playing this because I feel like you get trapped on your hill, you run out of wood, or it's easy, like in this case, okay, both wood is kind of like to the forward quadrant towards like the opening. So if you get pushed back, you're kind of hosed. There's nowhere to really run to a lot of times. BC throwing a lot of people on stone, so he's definitely going for a second town center. B has just his 1 scout out here. Beasty, let's see. How many scouts did Beasty have? Did he go also 1? No, he has 2. So he's sitting there in base. He could see the south side of B's base. He could wrap around and see that stone. I don't know. Can you see that from here? I think he's already scouted it, I would imagine. You can't always trust the fog of war sometimes with the observer. It's not always accurate. But there he goes, pulling back. Looks like B is going to be going for an additional town center once he has this council hall down. And BC's already placing his second town center. Where will he be placing that? I think he's going to put it right on the deer in this wood. That's exactly what's going to happen. Town center being dropped down. B, I mean, these guys are neck and neck. Holy cow, almost mirror images of each other right now. And I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of action. Maybe we'll see some longbow harass. Let's see, is he even training longbows? No longbows right now. So I think this is going to be a sit back and boom fest a little bit for these guys. Of course, for English, should be looking at a 3 TC when he puts down his third landmark, assuming he goes right up to the next age. Don't know. That could be what happens. BC currently walling up, walling down the side. That will secure him that relic, assuming he goes to the Regnitz Cathedral. 200 gold per minute when you have the relics captured for the HRE. So these two plus Regnitz would be a great eco boost for him. He now has access to all these deer here on the front. Oh, looks like maybe stacking up on one. I'm going to try to split out, but this is pretty great as far as the spread there around that town center. B also walling. These guys, I'm telling you, this is like, they know that like officially this map is just another ladder game, right? This is just another ladder game, but they have kind of been at each other's throats. Of course, with this whole thing, we know that BC was very quick to come out with allegations of the cheating and his involvement in the process. Of course, if BC was cheated against, you wouldn't blame the guy. You'd probably want to provide evidence if someone had cheated against you. But on the other side, B has been claiming he's completely innocent of all these claims. And what a better way to prove it than trying to beat Beasty just straight up on ladder with all these extra cameras on him. But right now, ooh, almost lost his scout. So, you know, it doesn't mean anything, but at the same time, you know these guys do not want to lose this game. There's too much going on. These are the stakes. Of course, winning this isn't going to get him back in Red Bull Wololo or anything like that, but certainly would give him a little bit of grounds for, you know, defending his stance on the matter. Okay, B with a very nice quick wall there. It looks like he might have trapped these scouts in. For better or worse, I guess we'll find out. Ooh, he almost had it. After all that quick walling, honestly, I wonder if he wanted the scouts to escape, because those scouts might have caused more problems being inside of B's base. He could have ran around in here, hit these villagers. Maybe he wanted them to escape. I don't know. Maybe not. But both players completely walling up. Now, man, we're looking at a situation where this could go super late game. So I hope you got yourself a snack and a drink, hopefully a beverage. And for me, popcorn and Coca-Cola is my favorite movie watching and, of course, esports watching snack. But HRE, very good in the late game, particularly their emergency repairs is a great way to save on stone. When you think about every other civ's got to pay to repair their stone buildings, HRE could save that with their emergency repairs. But then you've got English on their side, which many people have said is one of the better Imperial Age civilizations. They've got the farms, they're going to be generating gold. They've got the best trebuchets in the game. So could see a slugfest here towards the end. But what do we have here? B had two villagers that were trying to build the wall, and it looks like BC did build a stable and sent out the horsemen to cause a little bit of problems there. And there we go. That Regnitz Cathedral being built right now. Remember, each relic you get once you have that landmark gives you 200 gold. Doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it in a tower, you can put it in a keep, you can put it in wherever you want. And not only is it generate that gold, it buffs those buildings, gives extra range, damage, everything. Comes with extra snacks. It's very good to put your relics in your towers. Okay. Now, I would say the trademark Beastie move when he's playing the late game HRE is he likes to creep across the map with his keeps and buildings. Just slowly creep. So if this game isn't decided in the early third age, you might see that. Okay, now Beastie, aka Barcode, has reached the castle age. He already has these prelates going out. Two of them going to grab these far relics. B has to know this is on the way. but there's nothing he really has to deal with it. He knows there's horsemen out there, and he's not going to be denying those relics, and this could be a huge problem. That's going to be a lot of free gold for Beastyqt, assuming he at least gets those 2 relics. He's got the 1 in his pocket. That'll be 3 relics, so that'd be 2, 4, 600 gold per minute passively. This one will be I guess this one's at home for him right now, and so is this one. B will make sure he will want to make sure he secures those, as Beasty is already working on sieging down the wall. Mid, we got scouts going back and forth. Spearman in place. B, is he on the way to the castle age? He is, and with the King's Palace on the front line. Almost you would think this was a one of those keep landmarks, but no, this is going to be the King's Palace, and that will serve as a 3rd town center for B. Now, Beasty, I would imagine, might consider a fast Imperial in this situation. I think he probably can tell B's going to sit back and boom, and he might want to take this one into the late game. I'm not seeing a whole lot of military production. Maybe you would expect him to be slapping down some more stables or barracks if he was planning on fighting this in this age. But I've got a feeling BC's going for Fast Imperial. Fast Imperial is very popular for the Holy Roman Empire because with the Palace of Swabia, they can basically print villagers extremely quickly, which gives them a good eco boom. Now, I think he already got 2 relics in, right? 1, 2. He already got 3 relics in. Oh my gosh, I forgot this map has an extra relic. Oh, no, it doesn't. Wait. 1, 2. I don't know why. I thought maybe he had 3rd. Oh, so he got 3. I knew he was going to get that. I thought for some reason he had 3 controlled, but yeah. So he gets 3. That's kind of what we thought he would get there when we first looked at it at the beginning of the 3rd age. So that's 600 passive gold per minute. Let's look at the income per minute. You can see that going on right now. As you see, BC really bringing in the gold. But I think he's going to the next stage. He's saving up that gold. He's saving up that food. He's definitely going to the next stage. B's probably kind of going to scout out and see, is there a big force coming, or does he need to go to the next stage as well? And you got to imagine, both these players probably a little bit, I mean, they stay cool under pressure, I would say, but I bet they're a little bit nervous. I mean, if you've seen B on stream, he's been a little bit shaky at times with his voice. You can really feel the anxiety and nerves, which understandably, if you were somebody that was accused of something he didn't do, like, he just wants to prove his innocence at all costs. But BC also not wanting to be upstaged by a player that, you know, he claims was only beating him due to some cheats, some hacks, right? So BC does not want to lose this game either. So he's sitting back. Lots of walls. These players aren't taking any chances. Now, he already had 600 gold per minute. That gives him another 100 gold per minute. That's another gold. So he's about 800 gold per minute right now from a just passive income. That's huge. Okay, so we've got B farming up. I guess what we're really going to see, you know, typically the tagline would be of this game would be like, what is the best Imperial civilization? Which civilization goes best in late game? But I think the tagline is likely more going to be of these two players. Who's got it? What it takes to prove that they are the better in this matchup? With clearly, I think from seeing B's camera setup and his stream setup, seems to be completely honest. Now, I'm sure there's some advanced ways you can still cheat, maybe. But from what I've seen, from seeing his multiple camera setup, and I'm glad, at least for his sake, he's been doing that, they look like honest games to me. So will this be an honest win or an honest loss is the real question. Okay. Now, Beastyqt has reached the next age, and there's that Pulse of Swabia we talked about. 17 food, 6 seconds. That's all it takes to get a villager. It is absolutely crazy. S+++ tier. The real question is, should Palace of Swabia be nerfed? Is this too fast? I don't know, but keep an eye on that villager count. 66 villagers for Beastyqt. Looking at 72 villagers right now for B. Of course, he's been on 3 TCs, but that he will be overtaken eventually in that villager count. But at the end of the game, it's going to kind of matter who has more map control and who takes this. I do see one large gold vein there, one large gold vein there. As far as that... Wait, hold on. Was there another relic picked up? No, that was for B. Okay, so he's got that relic. So that'll be 200 passive gold for him. Now, Beasty, he is racking up the gold right now. I don't like that B hasn't tried to contest at least these sacred sites or put any type of pressure on HRE. Typically, you don't want them boom like this, but perhaps he's just super confident in his... Maybe he's just so confident in his English late game gameplay. He says, that's okay. You boom. I'm going to boom. We'll figure this out here in about 20 minutes. Okay, so we've got Knights starting to position to the front of the base. Beasty getting that stone, and I think he's going to be doing kind of what I mentioned before. I think we're going to start to see a stone highway across the map of keeps and towers and all of the likes. I think this is going to be quite the siege you're going to see. He's known as CGQD for a reason. Dropping down his barracks right now as he upgraded his units at the stable. He's upgrading the horsemen. Of course, the horsemen going to have more speed than the knight. Now, it's going to cost them 800 stone to drop down a keep. But again, I'll mention what's so significant about the Holy Roman Empire is they have the emergency repairs ability. So it can repair health, and it doesn't cost any stone. That stone cost was what really sets it apart. It can make it very hard to take down buildings. But if anyone was ready to take it down, it would be English trebuchets, right? You can see a lot. I've seen the Muslim games with like 7 English trebuchets, maybe more. I don't even know. That might even be an understatement. Okay, put down some stone walls. Going to be fortifying his western flank. I would say one thing I don't like about B's position is he's in a corner. He's trapped. If Beastyqt was the bee catcher, he's got him surrounded. He's got those toxic fumes. He's ready to get him out of here. We will see what he can do, though. But English, they said it's okay. We'll sit back. I mean, I've seen Beastie backed in the corner in similar situations, and he's just sat here, turtle, and bam, broken out. Getting those farms set up. Now, let's take a look at something as far as these English farms are concerned, if you're not very familiar with the civilization. The English farms, they have this enclosures ability. So you can see there, in age 4, they can research this, and it makes it so the villagers will be generating gold along with gathering that food from the farm. They also have an enhancement. You can see there, farm harvest rate increased 15%, 20%, 25%, then 30% through age. So as they age up, they have greater and greater farming. So English farms are no joke. Now look at this. Beastie, he's got to keep set up on the sacred site. Now another thing is, we talked about sieging up through here. You don't have to. You could just take the sacred sites and win that way. And man, I would not like to be trying to decap a sacred site at the last few minutes with a bunch of HRE emplacements nearby. It could be very, very difficult. Okay, so we've got a keep and a outpost. I wouldn't not be surprised if he brought a relic to the front line. In fact, to just boost that. Here they come. Remember what I told you about those relics and what they do? They provide great bonuses. So he's going to bring those up to the front line. And now the sacred site timer starts. So in 10 minutes, 27 minutes, Beastie will win this game if B does not capture one of the sacred sites. So we'll see if that happens. So the clock has started for B. He has to make a move here eventually, but he's got time. 10 minutes, in fact. The anticipation just grows and grows. This is like the most epic story. You know, cheating or not, this whole situation has created this like extra storyline out on the ladder, and when B's playing, players are going to be watching whether they are trying to argue. Look at this little wall, by the way. Somebody's innocence, or just like watching, at least from what I've been watching of B's legit gameplay on ladder, it's been crazy and zany, like those elements that people really liked about B. So definitely a crowd pleaser. Okay, moving on out right now. Going to be placing down some wall segments as he's working to take one of the sacred sites, and he might be able to do this. A bunch of villagers, though, and a keep going to be nearby. He's going to be under immense fire. And there we go. You see he's got that relic inside there, and look at the range on that keep. Holy cow. It could just shoot so far, but I think he's actually going to be able to restart this timer, at least for the time being. The crossbows being very effective at countering the man-arms. The spearmen keeping the knights out of the way, and he is capturing that sacred site. The knight's going to try to hold on it for a little bit more longer. I think B really wants to take the sacred site, and I won't blame him. I think he might also bump a relic into this next... maybe he'll move it into that forward outpost. He's trying to capture it, but doesn't have it quite yet. We do have a bombard from Beastyqt on the other side of the field. Okay, Beastie is just holding on. You can stand on top of the sacred site, and it can't be captured. For those folks who've seen, you know, King of the Hill and AoE3, it's kind of a similar thing. Although, yeah, I think it does pause the timer in AoE3. It's a little bit different in this game. 3 bombards already out on the field for Beastyqt, but not a whole lot of units to defend it. But man-arms against spearmen, the man-arms should have the day here. But B has just now reached the Imperial Age. But if he was able to kill some of these bombards, this would be a huge pickup. I'm considering these are cheap spearmen up against bombards, but it pulls the villagers, he pulls the boys. He's going to be able to siege the... oh, he loses 1 bombard to the spearmen. It's a big investment, but let's be real. Look at all the gold that BC already has secured. He has so much free gold. So B is, I don't know, put himself in a very, very tough situation, letting HRE get fully set up, fully boomed. Let's look at this. 140 villagers for Beastyqt, 121 for B. He's fully boomed up. He's got all of his relics. He is just cooking and printing out culverins and bombards. I would not want to be going up against this. And remember, the sacred site timer is still ticking down. And at the end of the day, this could be B's undoing if he's not able to capture one of these sacred sites. He needs to get the siege underway. Trying to drop down. It looks like a keep of himself right on top of Beastyqt's keep. How many villagers is he bringing to do this? 38 villagers. But there's bombards there. He could instantly lose all of this stone. If these bombards sight this, which they do, oh, he sees it, so he doesn't commit. But he could instantly lost the stone to those bombards. Charging forward, the villagers, in fact, going to be quite excellent at sieging down bombards. But again, he's got, what, 23 villagers on the front line, and there's man-arms nearby. So how's his regular army doing? They're doing okay. Is that keep going to be completed? I think that keep might get done. Those bombards are just running out, and even if he did lose these, he's got plenty of gold. This is a very good trade right now, I think, for Beastyqt. And this could be trouble for B. Trying to pick off that other bombard. Is he going to get it? He's able to snipe 2 bombards, but lots of idle time. And not only idle time, he lost 20 plus villagers with that charge. The keep still went up. I think maybe some English villagers went down. It does look like B has some of his hand cannoneers set up. He does have a keep. He's going to need some trebuchets, though, to start to take care of that. And doesn't matter if he wins these fights. He needs to be focusing his attention on these sacred sites, which are fortified. I would not be surprised if BC even throws down some walls up there to the north side. Remember, about the 27-minute mark is about when that timer will run out. Population check 150 for B, 179 for Beastyqt. Beastyqt is in an excellent position. Now, B has a strong army. Maybe he was ready to take this long siege, but he's got to be able to do this in enough time to stop it before the sacred site runs out, which I don't know. Right now, I would say advantage Beastyqt as far as B is the one who has to make the move. B's continuing to build his walls, but walls aren't going to help him take a sacred site. He does have a trebuchet. Is that highway set up? He is working on it. Let's see. That might be enough, actually. The network has to touch all the way to the town center, which I don't think we can actually see it on the map. Maybe you can't. Oh, he has it. Oh, my God. Oh, because he's building a town center on the front line. So he's building towns on the front line in order to extend that emergency repairs. Watch this. He's going to click that, lose no resources, and that keep's going to go right back to full health. Culverins there could easily snipe down that trebuchet. Also, losing his keep right now in the meantime. There we go. Emergency repairs activated. I told you this is a crazy ability. That town center allowing him to get that emergency repairs. Oh, my gosh. I really, really hate this ability in the late game because it's the time, right? He just needs the time to break out here, and he can have the strongest army of the economy in the world, but you know how long it's going to take him to break through this keep? Forever. And that's why I said you can't let him get set up. So B kind of put himself in this situation, though. He should be well aware of this. It ain't his first time playing against HRE, and Beastyqt, he knows how to play the Civ. Man, I said it early on. I was like, Beasty's going to make a emergency repair highway, and that's exactly what we see. Okay, so now he's got some spring golds. He's got 1 trebuchet, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to need more than that if he hopes to break through this. I'm trying to see if there's anything happening down to the south or to the north that I'm missing. Nothing that I can see. Continuing to fight here in the middle. There's not even a sacred site here. Okay, so he does have some trebuchets set up, trying to do something, but I don't know. Every one of B's attempts right now are just falling flat. BC is just going to sit back and ride this one to victory. Only going to be a few more minutes left on this timer. Meanwhile, it looks like that Beastie has broken down through with some man-at-arms down to the south and is going to be putting a little bit of a raid on B. Now breaking through into the main base, 13 man-at-arms running into the back line, and all of these farmers are going to have to head for the hills. They got to get out of there because Beastie is charging in. There they go. That's going to be idle. Now the hand cannons are there. They will kill it, but Beastie, look at his resources. He's got plenty. He's got like 3.4k stone. He's okay to lose a few man-arms. And meanwhile, the main siege still underway at the front. 1 keep down. 2nd keep under fire right now from the bombard. Losing his springald, his only anti-siege. The spearman and man-arm is pushing in. And everything is collapsing right now for 3DB. He's able to quell the invasion on the south side of his base, but his front seems to have lost all progress. Not to mention on Hill and Dale, you run out of wood in base. He actually does have some wood to fall back on, and he's got villagers caught up in the mess. How many villagers is B sitting on? 112 villagers. He's doing okay for right now. Still some man-arms. He's dealing with those hand cannoneers. He might be able to take the army, but it's that flood that HRE has late game, and particularly that gold. Look at this. Just as he had started to make progress on that keep, it is being repaired faster than he can dish out damage to that. You have to have so many trebuchets. Okay, he's doing. Remember, these are in fact trebuchets. These are English trebuchets. He does not have shattering projectile yet, which would give some additional impact area of effect. It looks like he might actually take out a keep. He's very close. He's now doing some traditional repair. First keep going down after a long siege, but we hear the timer. 3 minutes. So 5, 6, 7. So I think he has till 28-minute mark until this game will be considered a victory for Beastyqt. He's taken down a keep, running out of stone though to defend his own. Can he break out now? He does have hand cannoneers and some men-at-arms. Can he perhaps make a move on these? But look, there's a keep down here. There's a tower. There's a keep up here. There's a which one is he going to run for? Because pushing up middle is not going to get what he needs. Okay, so Beastyqt continuing to just put one more bombard down. And these culverins, these are the ideal anti-siege unit. And he's got them out there to snipe out anything that B might have coming forward. Looks like they're currently trying to snipe men-at-arms, though. Looks like this keep is likely going to go up. 3 trebuchets in position. Remember, he only has a few more minutes. 5, 6. He has like 2 more minutes left till that sacred site timer runs out. Where is he going to push? Mid is not going to be the answer. I've seen Beastie in this late game set up so many times, and he's just a master at it. Even with Sacred Site Timer not being a thing, he has perfected this slow HRE grindy late game play. So no surprise to me that he selected a Civilization. Definitely wanted to give it all he got. Okay, B laying out siege there against Beastyqt, trying to advance again, kind of stalled out, not really advancing a whole lot. He needs to go after one of these sacred sites. He continues to kind of avoid it. You heard that bell ring. It is closely approaching. Where will he make his last-ditch effort to capture one of the sacred sites? I think it's going to be to the north side. Appears to be the direction he's heading, but I don't know. He'd have to stand right on top of this, I guess. Maybe he's waiting for the last minute. But man, I would be surely nervous. One thing to know about the sacred site timer, guys, if you stand, like, so if BC stands on this thing, say there's a minute left or 3 seconds left, and BC stands on it. Don Hardy, thank you so much for the raid. And B starts to decap it. The timer will not stop. 1 minute left right now. 28 at minute mark. B will be BC will be victorious. B has to make his move right now, and he's stalled out fighting Beastyqt's army mid. This is not going to be the way he gets the victory. He takes out the siege. He seems to be doing good in the head-on fight, but that's not going to matter. He has to take a sacred site, and it doesn't even look like he's attempting to do so. And be granted, the second he does, BC will just shove his forces right up the middle, which is the biggest problem. I think he knows it. He's just kind of sitting here. I keep waiting for him to make the run for it. Is he going to try to at least pull off some kind of miracle here? But I don't know if we're going to see anything of the sort. He has a very strong army of hand cannoneers, man-arms. I wish we could see the exact seconds that are left, but unfortunately the in-game overlay doesn't allow you, so we just got to hope. Now, Beastyqt made a big mistake. This will actually stall the Sacred Site timer if he in fact got on it before B got here. But man, this is going to be very, very close. But I think at the end of the day, there's 2 keeps here. There's an outpost. Beastyqt should be fine to just walk this one across the finish line. Let's see if he can do that. Knight's charging around backwards from the back. He's got everything on the back line, and that's not enough. B is eliminated from a Sacred Site timer, trying to give it all he has to prove that he can in fact take on Beastyqt and a head-on fight. Completely fair, no strings attached. Is this enough to make that determination? I mean, of course you can't, but at the very least, at the end of the day, Beastyqt comes ahead with the victory, and B is going to be eliminated from this game. Perhaps they will match again on ladder, but we'll have to wait until next time. If you're over on YouTube and you enjoyed this cast of game, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Leave me a comment, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.